crop rotation doesn't matter until it matters, and then it matters big time. We've got a difficult question today. So Laura writes.
Shoot. Hey, Laura.
So Laura writes, I'm planning on planting lettuce and spinach in the bed I pull the potatoes from. Can I plant tomatoes there for summer of 2026, or do I have to wait a full 12 months?
One, I'm pretty sure I'm going to plant lettuce and spinach where I planted potatoes. So you have something, the nightshade family and potatoes that she planted in the spring. She's putting a couple of crops in between, which aren't harmful when it comes to, this crop rotation, because that's what we're talking about. So they'll complement, what she's growing when it comes to the lettuce and spinach. So can you, the next year, now put in tomato plants? So I think the do as I say, not as I do, would be no, don't plant tomatoes, nightshade family. And
Yeah.
if she has some other space to plant them, yeah, put them in some other space.
Would not do it, and you should not do it. And it's hard not to do it. If that's any confusing, if that's not confusing enough. I have this year, I did this. I put pepper plants in a bed that had tomato plants last year. And I went on YouTube and I came on here and I said, I want to see what it does. I want to see how it produces, because my plan moving forward is not to put any nightshade in those beds at all next year. Well, guess what? It ain't doing so hot. And so Laura is doing it right, where you put the potatoes in, they use potassium, and then you go back and you put your spinach and lettuce in, because that uses nitrogen. So, you're not using a depleted nutrient that already came from there. And then in theory, you're going to let that bed rest over winter to some extent, depending on where you are. And then you would get your tomatoes in, which there are 2 crops in between. But the problem is you don't have a growing season, like a growing season for those pests and diseases to kind of go through. So you're already your soil's potentially charged for that. Now, truth be told, you could probably get away with it next year, but then I wouldn't touch it with a nightshade for years after that.